Sean Haney here with RealAgriculture.com and Real Ag Radio, Rural Radio 147, Sirius XM, joined right now by the Executive Director of the Canada Pork Council. It is Mr. Stephen Heckbert. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here. Happy to chat about all things pork in Canada right now.
Plant closures. We saw Olymel in Quebec. We're also High Life in Minnesota, both having impacts on the Canadian market. Talk about some of those impacts.
Well, any plant anywhere in North America that has that closes is going to have an impact on the Canadian market, as it will on the American market. There's always individual factors in all of these plant closures. So there's reasons why that plant at this time, as opposed to others, and can't really speak to the individual processing plant. But the funny part is meat consumption is up around the world. So there is a market for Canadian pork. There's a market for it. It's just simply about finding the right price point and the right sort of system that's going to let us get Canadian pork into the hands of consumers who want to buy it at the right time and at the right price. And that, at this moment, we're in one of those cycles. And I think, the down cycle is having a particularly onerous impact on our processors at this moment. Coming out of COVID, running into some supply or some trade challenges with China. We were shut out of the Chinese market for a year and a half there, and that obviously going to have an impact on our on our processors. So there's just it's a bit of tailwinds from previous challenges that we're still feeling. But overall the future still looks good. There's still a large interest in Canadian pork products around the world. And I will also say, the plant's slated for closure end of December. There's lots of conversations to be had between now and then surrounding the Olymel plant, and lots of conversations about what's the right way for the Canadian industry to be ready to provide its product to our global markets in a way that will let them buy it in an affordable way.
Has the issue with China and the delicensing of plants in Canada, has that situation rectified itself?
At this moment, our plants are licensed in China, are licensed to sell to China. So at this moment, we're, look, our view of the relationship with China is that we want to, as an industry, do more to build direct on the ground relationships with China. So we're increasing some of our presence. We've hired Canada Pork has hired a Chinese director to help with market access in China. So we know a lot of these relationships are going to have to be much more sort of not at the political level, but much more at the official level. And we're really trying to sort of improve our relationship there. It's an important market, going to continue to be an important market. So from our perspective, it needs some investing.
How worried are you or concerned are you with Canada excusing the Chinese diplomat to go back home? How concerned are you about that trade relationship?
John, way above my pay grade. That question. I would say anything that happens in the international trade file is something we pay very close attention to. I will say at this moment we're actually sort of a little more focused on trying to access the market access we've gained in the UK's ascension to the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We've been talking to officials here about making sure that the rules of trade are going to be available to us with Great Britain trade. It's one of many files we've got to follow all the time. And so, we do what we can to make sure we're, that we're ready to face these challenges when they come from wherever they come from in the world.
Yeah, you've probably figured this out very, very early on in this job. There's a lot of files. There's a lot of files.
There's a lot of files, and I would love a quiet week, Sean. If you could give me a quiet week so I could catch up on some reading about things I still don't understand, that'd be super.
Well, Stephen, it's been great to chat with you. I'm sure this will be the first of many times we'll get an update on what's going on in the Canadian pork sector. Really appreciate it. All the best to you.
No problem. Thanks very much.